Now, when you're ready, I'll go out and you just talk into it naturally. Take your time, and I won't listen, and you'll feel more at ease.
Yeah.
All right? Now, as soon as Bruce comes home, I'll get him to write a few words. It'll be a hang of a job to get him to speak, but we'll do our best. Will you help me?
Yeah.
And Dad'll be the worst of all. Because Dad can't stand the sound of his own voice on there, can he? How do you think you sound?
I don't know, you can't really tell yourself.
Wasn't Jamie funny in the car this morning?
Oh, yeah.
What a job it was to get him out.
Yeah, he thought he was going somewhere.
Perhaps you better explain to the family what happened.
Yeah. Just a little while ago, when Dad was going to work, while he was getting the gate open, with the car door open, Jamie thought that we were going somewhere in the car, and he jumped in. He wasn't going to be left behind, because he thought that we were going out. Incidentally, Jamie is our little dog, which I'll be telling you about later.
Now, family, Neil and I have been having a practice on this darn thing. We're very anxious to see how we hear, and no, I mean how we sound. We're very nervous, and like Graham, we don't think we sound so good on here either. Now, family, here is Neil with his written message.
Hello everyone, this is Neil. I am 12, the youngest in the family. My main interests are sport. First of all, I like soccer. I play for my school, Rosehill Intermediate. My position is goalie. Their next best sport is rugby. I play rugby on Saturday mornings. My position is on the wing. I also enjoy swimming in the summer and also tennis. My hobbies are girls, best of all, and then second best, driving Mum up the wall. We have 2 pets, our cat, whose name is Tinker, and a little West Highland White Terrier, just like Katie has got. His name is Jamie, and he is thoroughly spoiled. Well, I've got to go and make my bed now. All my love, Neil.
While Neil is making his bed, I would like to tell you how, at last, we are making the promised tape. My dad, Frank Slinger, aged 77, is on Monday the 4th of June flying out on British Airways home to England to visit his family, whom he has not seen for 57 years. He is going to try and look you up and give you our tape, but he is a little nervous about travelling in England, so he may not make it, in which case we will post the tape on should he arrive back home here with it. Well now, I have just listened to your tape again, and I'm going to try and say a few words to you all. Pat, you, first of all, a big thank you for keeping the family in touch. If it hadn't been for you, we would probably not know as much about you all as we do. Your letters are always welcome. I'm sorry we're such terrible correspondents, but although we don't write, we think of you and talk of you all very often. Thank you for your hospitality to our friends, Audrey first, then Nancy and John. All came home singing your praises and saying what lovely people you are, and I must hurry and make a trip and meet you all. Many thanks too for the photo of Graham. He has changed a little bit older, a little bit plumper, and a little thinner on top. He's 52 next birthday, 6th of July, and I'm 49 on the 1st. We usually go out to dinner and celebrate, a bottle of bubbly, etc., etc. And now, hello Don. We enjoyed hearing your voice. You say you sound stiff and formal. Well, I think I do too. Perhaps we'll do better when we eventually meet. Hello Graham. You sound like Neil. Yes, it would be good if you could come and see us one day. Your birthday is in July, like Uncle Graham's and mine. I'm the 1st, so we have a lot in common. Bye for now. Hello, Jackie. Sorry Neil hasn't written to you, but he takes after Uncle Graham and myself. Very slow to write. Many thanks for the stamps you sent for the boys. Mother's last letter to us says you are doing very well in the Royal Women's Army Corps. Good on you. Keep it up. Cheerio for now. Hi there. Hello, Richard. You certainly get around in the army. Hope you enjoy it. Perhaps you'll get a trip out here one day. By now you will be safely home from Ireland. A big sigh of relief all round, I bet. When you spoke to us on tape, you were in the catering business and doing well. Do you think you might go back into it again? It would be a lot safer. All the best anyway in whatever you do. Hello, Gordon in Wales. Lovely to hear you and to know you and Pat have made such a success of your pub. I hope you are keeping well and will keep that promise to visit us soon. It's a pity you didn't carry on that little bit further when you were in Japan. And hello, Pat. It was good to hear from you. Graham tells me you were his girlfriend first and Gordon pinched you off him. Lucky for me, wasn't it? Hope you can make that trip to New Zealand soon. All the best, Faye. Hello there, Ren. Well, like you, I hate this darn recorder too. However, for better or worse, this tape is going to England. We all think our voices sound dreadful. It will be good to meet and be just our natural selves. We have loved all the photos of yourselves and thought how pretty your four girls are. Sincerely hope you are all keeping well. Bye for now, Faye. Hello, Jill. Good to hear you. Do you still keep in touch with your little friend from France? Hope your ambition to come to New Zealand will eventually come true. Cheerio for now. Hello, Paula. Glad you weren't too shy to say hello. We will always keep this tape and perhaps you might hear it back again one day. Hello, Derek. Sincerely hope you continue to keep well. Graham tells me you both used to go out on the booze together. Enough said. Glad to hear your voice. Cheerio. Dear Pauline, how much we enjoyed your session in the pub. The music was lovely. Strange we haven't yet heard it on New Zealand radio. As your evening wore on, you asked us what would we like to drink. Well, Pauline, ours is a gin and tonic with lots of ice. It's our drink, and we enjoy 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 each evening before dinner. It was good to get your card at Christmas and to hear of your new job. Sincerely hope it goes well for you and that your health holds up. And now, Ken, hello. Hey, the Cattells are a hard-working, hard-drinking family. Well, it's the same here. We work like mad and certainly enjoy our grog. And it would seem the boys have a good taste for a drop too. When Grandad comes to stay, that's my father, he likes a beer, and both boys line up with their glasses. It would seem they will not only carry on the Cattell name, but also the name of enjoying a drink. Well, I hope we will all enjoy a few drinks together one day in the not-too-distant future. Good to hear from you. Now, Katie. Oh, Katie, how much we enjoyed your recording. Who was tickling you? Was it Daddy? Was it one of the uncles? You laughed and laughed and laughed, and we laughed. Every now and then the boys say, "Come on, Dad, let's hear Katie laughing," and out comes the recording. It certainly was fun to hear. Thank you very much for talking to us. We enjoyed all your news. And you're quite right. Uncle Graham does know the way to England. Hope one day to make a promised trip. Hello, Judy. Yes, you're quite right. You're the only niece Uncle Graham has seen. I wish you could have seen his face when he heard that you were now married and had a family of your own. He couldn't believe that little girl he bounced on his knee was grown up. It was nice of Chris to say a few words. We hope you're all well and happy. All the best. Cheerio for now. Love, Faye. Well, family, there it is. As I say, for better or for worse, my part is done. When Graham hears this, he'll say, well, you haven't left anything for me to talk about. But of course there is. There's our home, our new business, and of course the weather's always a great topic of conversation in anyone's language. Bruce is yet to come home and write down the few words he's going to say. We all keep well, and we are certainly very, very happy. Graham and I will be celebrating 20 years married next January. And if the next 20 years are as happy as the last 20 years, well, we'll be very, very fortunate. I hope it won't be too long before we can all come home to see you. It's going to be very sad on Monday at the airport, watching Dad go. It will be hard for Graham. He'll be wishing he was going too. And I wish he could go too. But it's just not quite possible yet. But we are working towards it. I'll say goodbye now. Much love to you all. And Pat, once again, many thanks for keeping the correspondence going.
Hi everybody, this is Bruce. I'm 14 and go to Rosehill College. My interests include squash, radio, golf and keeping fish. I work after school as a paperboy at present, but I am planning to become an architect eventually. As a matter of fact, I am in an inter-school competition to see who can design the best house. If I win the competition, a lot of good opportunities will be open for me. As for radio, well, I am in the school team as a disc jockey and I enjoy it very much. Golf and squash are both fairly new to me, but I enjoy them and am doing alright in both sports. I have 2 aquariums with cold water fish, although I hope to go in for tropical soon. That's about it for now. Bye, Bruce.
Hello, the folks in England. This is Graham. Brother Graham or Uncle Graham, whoever you happen to be listening. I'm under pressure now to put a few words on this tape because Grandad Slinger, that's Faye's father, flies out of here tomorrow for London. I think Faye has told you the story. He's going to visit his relations in Clitheroe in northern England, and he hasn't seen them for 57 years. We're hoping that he will be able to deliver this tape to you personally, but if he can't make it, I'm sure you'll understand, and we'll post the tape eventually. They've asked me to tell you something about where we live and how we live. I can't remember how we got on with our letters last, but I think you all know we had a general store in Matata. We sold that about 2 years ago and shifted to a place called Papakura, which is a suburb of Auckland, and Auckland is New Zealand's largest city. Bruce says it's the largest city in the world. He apparently works this out geographically, and it is, I believe, in area the largest. That, I think, is because everybody in New Zealand has to have a house and garden, front garden and back garden, and therefore the city spreads for miles. We're on the extreme southern boundary of it, and it's roughly 30 miles to the northern boundary. I don't know how far it is across London, but apparently Auckland is bigger in area than London or anywhere else. The house is built of brick with a corrugated iron roof, as most houses here in New Zealand are. It stands on a 1/4 acre section with the usual bit of a vegetable garden and a few fruit trees and lots of shrubs and plants and things that Faye is accumulating. It's in quite a nice area and about a mile from the centre of Papakura, which is quite a good shopping area. We rarely go into Auckland city itself. When we came here, we had to make a living, and jobs are pretty scarce, particularly for somebody of my age. So we bought a business. It was a fruit and vegetable shop. Not because we were particularly in love with fruit and vegetable business, but it's one type of business which doesn't cost as much because you don't have to buy thousands of dollars worth of stock. And having bought the house, we were a bit low in funds. So we bought this business. It was pretty run down at the time, and we thought we might be able to work it up, which we did eventually. And it became quite a good little business, though we'd never make a fortune there. One of the ways we went about working it up was to sell plants, a few little things that Faye grew herself. And then one day a chap came in and asked us if we'd like to sell some plants that he was growing in large quantities. So we agreed, and his name was Cooper, Sandy Cooper. And we sold his plants, and I made some trolleys and things and put them out on the footpath outside the shop, and we were going great guns with these plants. And then along came the council and said we weren't allowed to put them out on the footpath, etc. This was breaking the bylaws. So we had to take them in then, and after that they didn't sell too well. But Sandy Cooper decided that he liked us and the way we sold his plants, and he suggested that we all go in together and try to get a shop or set up a garden centre in Papakura. So we agreed, and we started looking for somewhere to run or start a garden centre. We ran into a lot of trouble with bylaws about retailing in residential areas and etc, etc. And finally we leased a site in the commercial area of Papakura. It's a big sort of a barn affair with quite a big backyard, and we cleaned it all up and set it all out as a garden centre. We've been operating that now with Mr. and Mrs. Cooper since last September. And when it seemed to be going all right, we sold the fruit shop. And Faye and I have been running the garden centre, and it's open 7 days a week. We take it in turns at weekends. We do it one weekend and the Coopers do it another weekend. However, a few weeks ago we were approached by somebody with an offer of another garden centre to lease. This one is at a place called Papakura. It was pretty run down, has been for some time, but it's situated in a block which is being developed into a sort of a building and home improvement centre, and there's a big handyman's yard there, and a swimming pool complex, and all sorts of displays and demonstrations for home handyman and builders and people who want to improve their homes. This is all being developed now, and we have taken a lease of the garden centre which is in this complex. We took it over the day before yesterday, actually, the 1st of June. And the first day's business we took $24 in cash. So it's pretty run down. However, we think it has a great deal of potential, and if the complex works out as they plan, it might be a good business. So now we have no fruit shop and 2 garden centres. The one in Papakura is pretty quiet just now because of course it's June and it's winter here and nobody's doing very much gardening. However, maybe that's just as well at the moment, because it means that Faye will be able to run the Papakura one on her own during the week, and Sandy Cooper and I will be able to get on with the job of cleaning up and stocking up in the new one at Papakura. Papakura, incidentally, is another suburb of Auckland. It's about 9 miles from where we live, closer into the city of Auckland. And it's not far from Auckland's international airport. Talking of international airports and international news, we see on our television last night that Somerset's half underwater. Big floods in Ilchester and I don't know where else, although I didn't mention Taunton. I hope you people are not too badly affected by all the water. It's a beautiful day here today, but we've had quite a lot of rain ourselves over the last couple of weeks. But then of course it's winter here, and you are just coming into your summer, aren't you? Our hopes of coming to see you now swing on these two garden centres. If they boom, well, we might make a lot of money and be able to afford to come over and see you. On the other hand, we've had to borrow money to get this place at Papakura, so if the whole thing collapses, we'll be broke and we'll have to sell the house to pay our debts. Then we'll have nowhere to live. So perhaps we'll have to come home and sponge on the relations. But anyway, we're working towards it and hope to come home and see you all sometime, someday. Well, it's Sunday afternoon here now and it's almost 4 o'clock. It's our weekend on duty at the garden centre, and Faye is down there now. As it was quiet this afternoon, I left her alone and came home to put these few words on the tape. We close the thing at 4 o'clock on a Sunday, so I'm going to go down and get her now. As I said, Grandad flies out tomorrow, Monday, so I don't think there'll be any more on this tape. I suppose when it's all played through, it's not very much. Nowhere near as much as you sent to us, but at least it's something. And you know that we're thinking of you, and it's something that we've been promising for a long time to make this tape, isn't it? I don't know how many years, but what is it, 3 or 4 years I think since you sent yours to us. So at last we've made it, and there's still some left on this side of the tape I think, but there's no more time. So love to you all in England, and hope to see you sometime. If any of you want to come out here, well, give us a yell. But take care first, because things are not too good economically here in New Zealand, and jobs are a bit scarce, and the Arabs put the oil up, and the country's in trouble, I think. Also, Britain joined the EEC, and now they don't want New Zealand lamb and butter and things. So you housewives, would you do your bit and insist on New Zealand stuff, and let us know if it's any good anyway. So that's it, folks. Love to you all. Bye bye. Graham.
Well, family, here I am again, Faye. I didn't expect to be speaking again, but we have found that one of us has had the tape going at odd moments when there have been a few people here. There's a lot of junk on this tape, but it's only a matter now of 2 or 3 hours before we go to the airport and Grandad leaves. So there's not much time to do anything with it. So I'll try and explain briefly what's on there. The first conversation, you'll hear the tail end of our next door neighbours came over here last night to have a farewell drink with Dad. The new female voices is my mother, Nana Slinger, and our next door neighbour, Mary. They more or less hold the majority of that conversation. Further on the other side, it's all the family together. Mum and Dad, Graham, Bruce, Neil and I, and the dog. And it's just normal chit-chat and nonsense. Further on again, you'll hear a lot of giggling and laughing. It's quite hilarious, really. I wish you'd been here to see it. Nana bought herself a new wig. Cost her $56, and of course we all had to try it on. And it wasn't so bad on Mum and I, but when the boys all started, including Grandad, I can tell you Davy Crockett wasn't in it. And the funniest part of all was our little dog, our West Highland White Terrier, Jamie. He thought it was a rabbit, and he was doing his very best to get it.
So there it is, family. I'm sorry we haven't had time to do anything better for you. But that's it. Thought we'd just better explain. We're now going to have lunch, get dressed, and Dad's off to the airport. So, cheerio to you all.
That's if Mary will allow you to drive her car on your...
That's right, yeah.
I'll have to think about that one day.
Well, they reckoned there was going to be
Yeah, I envy you.
a lot of confusion. Well, on account of going away, I registered the old mum, and I nominated the day I want, and they just gave me the sticker without any, no humbug, no nothing. Just got the sticker and for that particular day, and the
Many more stickers you
registration.
want to see through the windscreen, don't you?
No, that's right.
You get many more stickers you want to see through the windscreen.
Well, that's right. Yeah, between your warrant of fitness and your AA sign.
I said to,
went to pay the Herald one morning, the card up ahead and that. And that lady there, and I said, I'm starting to get phoned. Trying to remember everything that's got to be done.
you're dead right.
She said the same. She said there's so many things to attend to now.
Yeah, there is really, There's definitely things to pay and
Yes,
rates,
yeah,
water
all
rates,
sorts.
telephone,
Television,
power, and television.
There's always something that's got to be
Never ended.
remembered.
You think, oh, right, I'm set this month. And then bang, they come. Is it
Yeah.
insurances? And
That's
if it's
right.
not furniture, it's cars. If it's not cars, it's house. There's
Yeah.
always something.
There's always something. You can't say, well,
No.
I'm finished for a
But
while.
the thing is, remembering.
Well, that is the trouble, isn't it,
I think it's a...
Now, don't fuss.
Strong.
Over a cup of tea.
I don't mind that really. Wet.
If you fuss over them, it'll make it tough for me. He'll be sneaking over here, Faye.
Jumping the fence, Tom. You're good at jumping the fences, are you?
I don't think I jump too many fences now.
Well, you managed to get over the hurdle out there, all right.
Yeah, don't be like Mr. Young from next door. He came in here one night and he stepped over it when he came in. And he sat in there talking for an hour or so. And then he went out and walked straight into it.
Now you won't have
Forgot
to
to
fence.
say
Is
that.
it 2 weeks?
No, that'll be alright.
So it was alright if it wasn't, wouldn't it?
Like Frank when he was building the fence in front of the unit.
Oh, God, don't rush me.
Mary,
Yes,
Frank was building the fence in front of the unit and he had a wire stretched across, but where the little gates, we decided to make it lower.
Yeah.
But the wire still went across to keep
Oh,
everything
right.
level. So I kept saying, now watch the wire, watch the wire, and I kept saying, yes, I know it's there, I know it's there. But then I rushed in the house in the dark and I forgot about it. I've never let on till now.
No, well, that's right. It was a dad of a niece of mine, your mine Joy. Was it Joy or one of the kids? They'd put the electric fence up. One of the kids. They'd put an electric fence up, you see, out on the farm. And of course, young Michael was tearing down the paddock, you could see it, and tore straight into
Head off the cow.
Well,
You're
right
watching the
across
cow, not
here.
watching the radio down. That's just
Gosh,
going
it
on.
was successful.
Easy to do, isn't it?
Oh, that happened to Frank and Camp. They jumped the fence one night at Papakura. Remember he came over to Mangere, you and Tommy Parks and that?
You're a bad boy.
Then you were sneaking back and you heard, is it a provost or something or
Oh,
other?
yeah.
Round there, and you all went to leap across the drain or something, but there was a wire across that and caught them off of you.
Yeah, we all dropped into a slip that trench there. About 8 feet down.
Yeah.
Anyway, the provost was shining the torches around looking for it, and they never thought to look down the big hole. So we just laid dog off for a while and sneaked back in. Yeah, they only used to be strict
What do you
when
do, like?
different
What do you do?
echelons was going away. Yeah.
What do you do in the course of a lifetime, though?
Yeah.
I was only saying to Fran, which you met Fran,
Yeah.
or Fran Bolton now, but because we've known each other for so long, and that, and I said, Fran, one of her nieces, she was just a little girl when we went at tea round, and now, believe it or not, she's a grandmother. You know, and I said, Fran, you know, I said, over the years you think, oh, this old age has got to come to you, you know, and that, and I said, you're going on and on, all of a sudden you're old, you know, and you realise it's too late to...
Yeah, that's right.
So it's there.
That's right.
And you're old.
Oh, Johnson Multi. They go spray it on and wipe it off. Well, see, it's just a bit of fresh dirt there, you know, that they've just sort of smudged on that'll just come off with anything.
But it's
It's
misrepresentation. To me,
spray it on and wipe it off, and they reckon it's no good.
How old's somebody now, Faye? 5. Oh, he's still young.
Little age. Auntie, but you still like your fish food?
For DOG, about 12?
So Judy was 13, she was 14.
Oh, he's in the prime.
And Nikki, you know Mrs. Barney, hit rid of her. And her dog, big white dog, Nikki.
The Samoyed or whatever it
He
was.
was 12.
Was he?
When he died, yeah.
I often wonder how that lovely little white one, Nikki,
Ruffles.
from the hills.
Oh,
I often wonder
Nikki.
how he fared.
Gorgeous, wasn't he?
Oh, beautiful. Oh, he was
Jamie's
a little
playmate.
black nose and, oh, he was lovely, but oh, with those cruel children.
Oh, they weren't fair to him.
I reckon Bobby would look after him, wouldn't you, Mum?
Bobby was fond of him.
Yeah, and brushed him and all that. I reckon he would have been pretty good.
I used to worry about that little dog.
He might have been one over on that road. I didn't want to go on the road. Excuse me.
Oh, he was gorgeous. I met a lady at Red Beach, and she was going to the store, and she had one that exactly like Nicky, a baby. Oh, baby, he was just beautiful.
Right, Judo.
Oh, don't hurt him. Oh. Look, you bite him. See how he
Get
likes
into
it.
him, Jamie. Get stuck into him.
That'll do.
Jamie's laughing and hitting his skin, but that's all he can do.
What breed was that dog of Bobby Hills?
Maltese Terrier.
Oh, a toy Maltese, wasn't it?
Oh, Jamie's taking to his heels.
Jamie thinks Granddad might be a good bet to take him out.
Excuse me, Neil.
Righto.
Stop it.
Okay, that's it. Finish.
Out on the lawn if you want to fight.
Out. Come on.
I'm just trying to save your dog.
That's
He's
it.
gone.
Come on, do what we do.
Get away, Bruce. Get away. Stop it.
That's all the little dogs can do.
Stop it. Now, come on.
That's it for me.
Get off that chair, Bruce. Get the chair off the box the other side.
You just want to watch him.
You done your
Sorry.
Have you done your homework?
Really sorry.
Have you done your homework? I'm going to turn that roaring television off, please.
What's on the television?
Tell somebody says it wasn't Fantasy Island in New Scotland Yard in 6. I was sick.
New Scotland Yard is what, 8:30?
Yes, was it?
Thank you.
You're not going to watch that punk program, are you?
There's nothing better to watch. I watch you all day.
You don't watch me all day. You haven't seen me for 12 days. You won't see me.
Who's been doing the shop there? Graham and Sandy.
And Fran.
And what?
And Franny.
And Franny. She's been out for 12 days.
No, Franny played that too.
2 days.
And has the business slipped while you're in charge, or is it prospered?
Hard to say either way. Hard to say.
Never mind, Graham, you wait till tomorrow. You come and you say, what's an apricot something or other?
It'll boom when you're there, mate. It'll boom when you're there, that's for sure. They'll be rushing in from miles around. I had a woman in tonight who said that she comes from Takanini and she's fed up with being ripped off by Beaumonts. And so they all are out at Takanini and they're all going to come here and buy their plants now. That's what she said. But she wants 4 tea tree plants that high.
And haven't you got them that high?
That's one.
Oh, yours are all bigger, taller.
I think they'll come out that small girl.
We've got 12 ones up there and the other 4 foot there.
Well, she doesn't want dwarf ones, she wants them to grow to 6 feet high. But she wants to start them off small.
Tea trees don't transplant too well, Faye.
No.
Now I don't know how Jean's got on. You know, the lady that I gave her 4. And they were about that high and the soil was wet. I haven't seen Jean, but when the boys put the fence up, Dad dug one out about that high. So I rescued it and replanted it, but it's dying.
That's a feature.
Yeah, it's dying.
Now you'll have to see how Dean and replanted it up.
Yeah, but after you planted it, Granddad danced on it and said, planting bloody trees where I want to put my fence. And then he straightened it up again and left it.
Is that what happened?
That's